Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hi there, guys. Alfred, hi. How you doing? Can you hear me and see my screen? Let me just check, okay? Just give me a couple of minutes. I will check with the rest as well. And then we will start in about, let's say, 5 minutes time, if that's okay. Okay. Right. Let's check. We'll go through all the certain trade ideas as well. And we can plan things out through the webinar today. Okay. Give me a second now. Okay, so welcome everyone to today's webinar. Today I want to talk a little bit about this pivot meter that I've not talked about a lot on Action Forex. Okay, I will rewind whatever I've actually mentioned about, and also today's topic is mainly about price pattern. So we'll talk a little bit about the pivot meters, and then we'll go straight onto the chart, apply it, and then we will talk about price patterns as well, because I see that the main confusion is which time frame sometimes to follow. So I want to talk a little bit about the daily chart and how intraday traders can also use the daily chart, but then use it as a trend indicator, so that we know what the trend is, and then we can go back to your 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes even to actually trade your intraday. Okay. All right, so let's start with the pivot meter. Now, with this Action Forex, I have noticed that they have improved every couple of months their algorithms and make it sharper and better. Hence the reason it's been a website that's been around for a very long time. And it's been having very, very steady visitors and a lot more countries that it covers. It's not a broker, it's just a resources website. And they advertise, they make their money from advertising as well. But then if we go into markets, you look into pivot meters. Now, pivot points, I usually go onto Fibonacci pivot points just so that you know your current pair that you are trading, what are the support and resistance levels, okay, in terms of price. Then if you go into the pivot meter, it will be based on the generic pivot points as well, but then it gives you a little bit of an indication of where is your current price. Is it very close to a support going up, very close to a resistance, or very far from anywhere else, or is just neutral? This is what you use your pivot meter for. Now, for example, you can actually go by different time frames. Of course, you got 4 hour right up to the monthly chart. Now, if we look at this, what do you call that, needle right there, that indicator, it is right in the middle, right? That is for Euro USD. So every needle needs to be above the pair to tell you it is for that pair. So for example, this one for New Zealand dollar is this one here. For GBP USD is at the top, and Euro USD is at the top, for example. Now, if the needle, that black needle that you see, is traveling towards the left, that means it is on the downside, because it is going down to meet support 1, going down again to meet support 3, support 2, and then support 3, right? So it's the same for going up. It will be going up, meeting resistance 1, R1, R2, R3. So for example, like with Euro USD, it is not going anywhere yet. So that actually means it could be ranging, for example, on the 4-hour chart though, okay, because we click onto the 4-hour chart. But then what about USD JPY? You see, like USD JPY, because it has actually moved to the left, that means it has actually experienced bearishness of USD JPY, correct? So it has gone down, gone past support 1, now going towards support 2. It might actually bounce. We don't know that yet. So we want to actually check what is going on with USD JPY, but then the bias is to the downside. Now, if we go on to markets again and we want to double check the trend, we can go on to the action bias and look at USD JPY. And you can see that on the 1 hour, yes, it's still down, but it's still neutral, neutral, neutral here. So it's not very clear that it is going down, going down, going down. So it does actually match with what we see at the pivot meter, that it is not going down entirely, mainly because, go to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, it's now back here, you see. So it has actually gone a bit unpredictable. So we need to actually check. This is for USD CHF that we looked at. We looked at USD JPY just now, right? So USD JPY, sorry, it is at the S2, which basically means that even though it's on a downtrend going towards the left, it is approaching, it is right on S2, which is support. So there may be an indication to bounce up. We don't know that yet, but hence the reason it was not clear downtrend as well on the action bias indicator that we just seen just now. Okay, so let's say we want to apply this practically and we go into USD JPY. Let's say we go to USD JPY. Okay, now your USD JPY is, do I have it here? No, I thought I had it. Okay, that's USD CHF. You see how bearish it is at the moment. It's for a Monday, it's really fantastic that it's moving a lot. Let's take the USD JPY right there. Okay, so here, for example, you can see that we are on the daily chart. Now, on the daily chart itself, let's say you go to 4-hour chart, following what we have seen just now. You can see that, I mean, for the things that we have talked about, in terms of the 3 lines, you see the 3 lines is already showing us unpredictability. Okay, it's just unpredictable. It's going sideways at the moment, so we don't really know what the trend is on the 4-hour chart. If you go to the 1-hour chart, you could see it's the same thing. You've got candles going inside the 3 lines. It's in between the 100 and the 200 exponential moving average. You go onto the 4-hour chart, it's touching the line there, but the 3 lines are pointing sideways as well. Then you've got your daily chart, again, not very clear. We've got a bit of resistance right there. Now, one of the easiest thing to do in terms of trend, of course, it's whether or not the candles are under all the 3 lines, above all 3 lines. But another thing, the simplest one that you can actually do is actually visually look into what is happening, whether or not you have got an A, B, C, D going down potentially, or an A, B, C, D going up. But you do it on a daily chart just to look at the trend, just so that you are at the right side of the market. Because if you want to be a trend trader, you need to think like this and go to the daily chart. But again, you know, there is no right or wrong in between the trend. If it's doing a correction and you want to trade, it's also not wrong to do that. It's just that you may have a level of a risk that you need to manage. Okay. So here, for example, we want to look at standalone peaks and valleys. This is a peak, this is a valley down there. That means it's a high, it's a low, it's a high, it's a low, standalone ones. So standalone ones are the one that is, you don't need to look at all these small ones. You want to look at up, down, up, down. That means the highest one, lower, highest one, lower, all the standalone ones that you can see. So at the moment, this is the closest to our price right now. You got 1 standalone here, you got 2, then you got 3 here, correct? These are the standalones, the easiest one to actually spot. But then because you look at the standalone here, this is your A, this is your B, this is your C, potentially there is a room to the downside. Okay, so here, for example, this is on the daily chart. But again, on the daily chart, if you see prices moving like this on the USD JPY, you can always draw something that you can see following the price movement. And these are called price pattern. Sometimes the price pattern in the form of triangles and all that can be very, very useful, but it is best to do it on a daily chart, even though you are trading on you want an intraday trades and all that, it doesn't matter. Just do it on a daily chart first so that you get all the, you get it in the bigger picture, so you don't get too confused and too much information coming in. If you go onto lower, medium and all that, it can actually be too much information. So you do it on one first, okay? You can still follow what I've actually mentioned about prices being above all the 3 lines or under all the 3 lines. You can still do that. But when you go into the daily chart, you want to get an overall feel of the trend, and it's actually much better. Then you can actually move on to the 1-hour chart and all that. Now, I'll just teach you how you do this, okay? Very simple. We want to know the trend so we don't actually be on the wrong side of the trend and wrong side of the trade. So here, for example, you've got A here, B here, C, and then potentially to the downside, correct? Potentially. Now, this is standalone here, very clear, A, B, C, okay? And then D going down. So you are actually looking at potentially downward type movement. Now, as it goes down, of course, if this were to go down, because we're looking at potential to the downside, right? As it go down, you can actually see that you have got resistance, sorry, you've got support, support. Very clear, these two support here. This is like a double bottom here that usually pushes prices up. But then if you click on this one here, following this one here, it touches that exactly on the spot. That opening price of the bullish candle, closing price of the bearish candle there, you draw a line on the body of that valley or that low right there. It goes exactly there. So this is a potential support. As price comes down, it's got potential support at 106.06. So this shows that there may be a potential for price to drop. So when it has a potential for price to drop, that means your trading opportunity on lower time frame, where the 4-hour, 1 hour is entirely up to you, is also on the downside potentially, because we want to also confirm at this place, if for example the price were to drop, do we see on the left, to the left, whether we have got a single bearish mother candle coming down or not? Now, the answer to that is yes. I mean, the easiest, closest one that we can see straight away is the one here, correct? So that one ends right there. So I want to move this one here up a little bit just to end that mother candle right there. So that actually means from 107.50 now, which is your psychological level where the price is trading now for USD JPY, it has a potential room for fall right down to 106.13 area. Okay, now that will give us a distance of about 138 pips, let's say. So you've got 138 pips to play with on the downside. Then now you know roughly that your direction is to the downside. The trend is on the long term as well, is to the downside. So you want to actually trade a sell. You don't want to trade a sell on the daily chart. You want to trade a sell on your shorter time frame so that you can grab some pips during the day, during this trading session, and then close it and not let your trade run for the next day. This is called intraday. You want to close it on the day, correct? So if you want to do that, you can do that like I have mentioned to you earlier on. At least you know that you will most probably be on the right side of the trend, okay? Even though it's a long trend, okay, it's a long-term type trend, but it gives you the right side of the market, okay? So now if I were to go to the 15 minutes chart, okay, right? So I've drawn that, and that is way down here for the support, but that's on the 15-minute chart. We drew that support earlier on at 106.12 or 13, for example, on the daily chart. So it's obviously is going to be quite far down, but then this is basically where your room of downward move is, okay, roughly. So if I go on to the M30, for example, okay, you can see the same thing right there. Let's go into the 1 hour chart, which is a neutral chart. And let me zoom a little bit and let me look at this price. Now the price is at 107.48. 48, very close to 50. Now, if you want to base all your setup now, trend, we use the daily chart just now, correct? And you still want to trade even though you see the three lines on the sides and all that. We just want to prepare and see where can we actually enter a sell. Why a sell? Because on a daily chart we've already made that analysis and we have seen more selling bias. Okay, now where does the sell actually happen? On two counts. One is based on the right psychological number. Psychological number, of course, you cannot sell at 107.50. So 107.40, which is 10 pips under 50. So we want to mark that 40 psychological 40 selling price, ideal selling price, which is 107.40, which is a better price to sell. That is one way of looking at that, is to adjust it on with the psychological numbers. Now, while we do that, if we go to the left, we can see that 107.40 is exactly at the opening price of a resistance level, the body of the opening price right there. So it is actually safe for us to sell there and not sell too early. Now, for now, you guys can understand, can follow my flow, is okay? I'm drinking lots of water, juice, and all that. The reason is in Limassol, from the early morning itself, it started with 32, 33 degrees, and then it's going to 36, 37. Some days we can get up to 40 degrees during the day, especially on weekends, very crazy weather. So that's why I'm just hydrating myself. Okay. Okay. Clear, yeah, brilliant. This is actually one of the easiest way, just so that you don't get caught up in the wrong side of the trend, but most importantly, not to get very confused with the direction that you can actually participate or you can actually trade. Maybe it's not the right timing yet to enter, but we'll talk about the entry timing later on, because you can easily put a pending order. And we want to know whether or not it's a strong market to enter or not, or do we have to wait for very long? Okay, so here now we've started that. So now you know that you could potentially enter, do a pending order at 107.40. Now, just to make it a little bit better for us to feel like we can actually really sell, because there are a lot of selling power on the 1 hour chart. Why on the 1 hour chart? Because you are intending to actually sell for a short period of time intraday. You want to trade intraday, so we want to base on the 1 hour chart. 30 minutes, 1 hour, still better. If you're based on a 4 hour daily and all that, you might have to wait. So you don't want to, you most likely you don't want to float anything at this moment of time. So since we've got a bit of liquidity and all that, let's look into intraday and let's see this opportunity together. Okay, let's say you've got the 107.40 as a potential sell area. Now we have gone onto the 1 hour chart. Earlier on, we were on a daily chart just to make sure whether we've got a trend going down. We've got a space, we've got a plot of land for sellers or not. And the answer to that was yes. Then we go onto the 1 hour chart. And now basically we've adjusted the current price with psychological numbers as well, correct? Let me just make sure I'm recording. Okay. So now, for example, if you're selling at 107.40 or you want to set a pending order at 107.40, you want to make sure that 107.40 has got the capacity of sellers through a single bearish mother candle. So we look to the left based on this pink line now, because that's your potential entry, pending entry for sell. Now, if I go on the left, on the left, on the left, I just want to look at whether or not we have got the capacity of a bearish single candle. And the answer to that is yes. This is where it is roughly, okay? But that mother candle there, bearish mother candle, didn't really touch 107.40. So let's see where did it actually start. It started at 107.39, still good. Okay, so you, to be safe, you want to actually sell at 107.39, even better, 107.38, just so that you're sure that it wants to participate in the longish candle. So now we have found that the closest bearish candle, single bearish mother candle on the left, and we want to know about the potential, meaning how many pips was this single mother candle all the way down to the closing price there. That is about 26 pips. So you have a potential of about 26 pips right there of a single bearish candle. You can always take profit at 107.13 as it says here as well, because 107.00 is a psychological number. You have to take profit at 107.10 anyway. So 107.13 is quite good. So 107.39 and 107.13. So you've got some pips there, but that is just this mother candle here. do we have any other mother candle that's longer than that mother candle? If you do, then that's all well and good. That means the market is giving you much more. But if you don't find any single mother candle that's longer than that mother candle, then that's what the market can give you. Okay, so that's how we see it. We don't want to start plucking out from the air, you know, how much pips you want to make. Of course, we all want to make hundreds of pips, but we want to make pips that are given as well. So if there are 500 pips available in a single candle, many candles, whatever, then there is an opportunity to grab that much pips. But if it hasn't occurred before in the past, most likely it may not occur. Okay, so that's why I want to look at whether or not we've got any more longer single bearish mother candles here. Not really. Let's see, we've got some bullish ones, of course. We've got more bullish ones than bearish ones, so we want to be very careful. Also, the other thing is the place where we are thinking of take profiting is exactly where there were some support as well, which is good. Some more support right there. But I'm still looking for bearish candles, bearish mother candle, single bearish mother candle, 106. That's it, right? 107.13 down, okay. Second. All right, we've got one here, which is from the 107.39. You see, it started a little bit early and then zoom, it went down, and that candle there, if from beginning to end, it was about 37 pips. If it is from the 107.39 right down to where it ended, it's about 32 pips. So you've got about 30 pips on average to take from the market, potentially, not certainly, potentially or with probability, based on that mother candle as well. So that's a good sign. We've also got this one here. We still have, now as we go back and back, even on the 1 hour chart, we have got opportunities, selling opportunities in the past, quite strong ones with bearish mother candles. So that's a good sign, very good sign. So this is something that you guys can take, USD JPY. So it doesn't only mean that, okay, if we want to have some intraday trades and we need to only look at all the candles under all the three lines and then above all the three lines, we can. To be honest, I trade that way. That's why I'm a very conservative trader, because I'm not an intraday trader. So I'm not concerned about the number of trades in a day. But for intraday traders, the number of trades is also quite important for you guys. So you can do it this way. That's why I want to introduce you to how you can use price pattern, okay, like A, B, C, D going down or A, B, C, D going up on the daily chart first, so that you can then look at the gap. Where there's a gap down, how much pips going down or how much pips going up, that you can then go back, go to the lower time frame to then start to plan for entry. Okay, so let's got something here, but we're not sure. So we've got something, but it went through there, 39 to 107.13, but not right down to 106.13 area. It's okay. We have got enough information. It did actually tell us that we have got selling opportunities through a single mother candle a few times already. So that's quite good. So this is how you can actually immediately find opportunities, even though if your candles are in between all the three lines and all, especially for intraday traders. Okay, like for me, for example, I'm more a swing trader, or I would say, you know, medium to long term type trader. So I will not enter it as yet, because I would then prefer, let's say, USD JPY 1 hour. My candles and current prices has to be under all the three lines, and only then I take. So for me to enter the market could be very slow, could be slower than you guys. And because I'm also aiming a bigger number of average pips. So it's all these things that I'm telling you is the different styles of trading. There is no right, there is no wrong. It all needs to fit with yourself as a trader. So if the intraday style fits with you as a trader, then ignore a lot more of what I have taught you in terms of all the candles or current candles being under all the three lines, above all the three lines. This is a very conservative approach. This is an approach that is more reserved, having a bit, I would say a lower risk appetite as well. Like myself, I'm like that. So that is my style. No traders need to really follow any trader style. You have to know the style that fits you, okay? Because your style needs to also fit your goals per day and all that, and you want to feel good knowing that this is how you want to trade. Now the strategies, there are many strategies for different styles, so you don't need to worry about the strategies side of it. Everything can be tweaked. You can go on to different time frame, you can approach it differently, you can ignore some of the indicators, use some of the indicators. But for intraday traders, you just want to look at, you can actually just start with the daily chart to look at the trend, to look at whether or not you have got all these things. We can do another sample, okay, of a pair so that you get to understand how you can actually trade intraday using your daily chart as just a trend indicator and then moving down to lower time frames. Any questions so far, guys? No questions? All good? Okay. Anyone wants to voluntarily give me a pair that you would like me to analyze? We can look at a pair and then we want to find out whether we have got some trade ideas. And then after that, we'll go on to Australian and New Zealand, how you call that, pairs or crosses. So we can then look into trading opportunities or trade ideas. Any volunteers, please, on any pairs you want to analyze? Quiet. You guys gone quiet on me again. Any questions, guys? Any pairs, maybe? No? Okay. AUD USD, brilliant. Good. Okay, so let's go on to AUD USD. Do I have it here? Okay, sure. So we'll look into your CAD JPY, Alfred, and AUD USD first. So AUD USD and then CAD JPY. Do I have my AUD USD here? Not really. Okay, so let's go on to AUD USD. Okay, good. So now let's do what we've done earlier on, okay? Let's go on to the daily chart straight away, okay? I'll have my ADX, which is the average directional movement index as well. And also, okay, let's ignore the stochastics for now. This indicator ADX, or average directional movement index, tells us whatever trend that we're looking at, if the blue line is above level 25, that means that trend is strong. If it's a downtrend and then you have got it above 25, that means that trend is strong as well. Okay, so there you go. Hi there, Mr. Cheng Ho, how are you doing? Welcome. Okay, so here, for example, we are looking at AUD USD. We just want to look at a daily chart just for a trend indicator. Now, in your opinion, what do you think the trend is on the daily chart? Just a trend. We're not going to trade, how you call that, the daily chart and long term and all that. No, we just want to use the daily chart as an indicator of what the trend could be as a whole. That's it. Okay, so now we are trading at 6972. Now we have got, if we're looking to the right, we need to look to the left for support resistance levels. We need to look to the right as well. To the right, we are looking at the price in comparison with the psychological number 69.72, only about 8 pips up, will actually meet the 69.80 psychological level. So I want to mark that 80 psychological level, 69.80. Okay, there you go. So 69.80 is here, right? Next one up after 69.80, the next one is 69.87,000, right? So 7,000 in terms of the price is the next psychological number up. That means a reversal could happen anywhere between 6,980 to 7,000. Okay, but then as we look to the left, we have got this very big shape, V shape, and this V shape gives us a bit of a double top here, and it's not very nice because this is a mark of resistance as well as a reversal. So that means it can anytime now start to reverse because we are in a very risky reversal and resistant zones. Okay, so I want to also mark another line on the body of that top there, and also based on that wick up there. Okay, so we get everything there. All right, so now in other words, we have got an area. This is just the even the based on the 4-hour chart as well, that seem to be a significant resistant area, as you guys can see. Okay, so I have got that. Oh, third question there, sorry. Okay, we'll get to CAD in a bit, Alfred. Give me a second. We'll go to AUD USD just to make sure what we're looking at the moment. Here, for example, we know that we are battling with some very strong resistance levels, all mostly marked by the purple lines that I've drawn. So if we take that one there out, so basically 7020 psychological number and above, then we can actually talk about buying. So at the moment, it's a bit too early for buying AUD USD, mainly because the timing is not there. Maybe it's due for correction now, AUD USD. Okay, so but when we went to the daily chart is simple. This is giving us a lot of room to the upside. Okay, it's above all the three lines, it's on the upside. It's got very bullish candle, single bullish mother candle as well, heading towards the upside. So the trend is definitely to the upside, but also on the daily chart, we also see the resistance there. So that actually means that it may have, what is a trend? Trend is to the upside, but it may actually be reversing very soon. So this is what we've got on the daily chart. So that's it. You just keep that information. Then you understand that, oh, it may actually be reversing. So I may be looking at downside move on the shorter term as well, because we are looking at reversal. So at the moment, if I go onto the 1-hour chart, you can see that the reversal has already started a little bit. Okay, as it comes down, it will actually come down to this area right here. Okay, so that area there is the actual resistance of the previous price right there on the body of it. Now it's at 69.74. If you are going to be selling anyway, why sell? Because we are looking at that potential of resistance, correct, at the daily chart. So that gives us already the trend, gives us the direction, gives us the best route on where we should go, to the downside or to the upside. In this case, AUD USD, better to the downside. But then what we do? We look at the 1-hour chart now, and we go to the left, and we want to look at whether or not at some point can we actually bump into a single bearish mother candle, okay, based on the current price. So as I go on to there, I can see that, yes, we do have a single bearish candle, quite a powerful one right there, but that there as well, yes, but that ended, you know, not too much right down there. But we've got one here that hasn't really started at the opening price area, but the opening price area is only 1-2 pips probably. So it's at 6.9. The opening itself was at 6973. 6973, or if we were to go to 6970, let's say, and we drag that down to the end, that's about 37 pips on AUD USD. So you see, that is your potential selling opportunity for the 1 hour chart of AUD USD. Okay, so you can always mark that by the end of that candle there. Do we have larger or longer bearish mother candle to the left? Let's explore a little bit. We have some here, not really reaching that area right there. Okay, let's see. Perhaps around here. Not really. So we've got one there reasonably, earlier on about 37 pips, as I've mentioned. So yes, we do have some power, some bearish. We've got another bearish candle right there as well. Not very long. We've got one there, middle way. Got one here, which is from there right to the end. It's about 16 pips. So we've got the other one just on 30 plus. Okay, we do have a very significant bearish single mother candle that is right here, reasonably, I would say, bearish, reasonably strongly bearish, sorry, long as well, long body of the candle. So what I want to do is perhaps just color it red. Okay, so you got an indicator right there. So I'm gonna move that right down to the end of the candle. Now, if we were to sell at 6970, let's say, that if you were to sell at 6970, let's say that's about 100 pips. Okay, so if you adjust that slightly less than 100, but still you get about 90 plus pips if you were to be selling at 6970 as well. So let's say about 93 pips, 97 pips, 98, 96 pips or so. And that's still very, very good, very significant. And this is based on the 1 hour chart, but then based on the trend of the daily chart. Okay, you guys got it, yeah? So there you go. You can find opportunities. You can set your pending order, or in this case, your selling is really very close already to the 6970 area, about 10 pips or so, if I'm not mistaken. I know less than that, sorry, 6973 now, the price. Okay, so there you go. You can easily do that, and you can actually do your sell right away now. It's entirely up to your risk appetite. Of course, you know, it's at 6980 is the closest, so I want to sell at 6970. I want to take profit at, this is 6868. Okay, you can still take that as your take profit area. If not, you want to lessen it much more or widen it, it's entirely up to you. But that is where the opportunity is on the 1 hour chart as well, okay, on the selling side. So there you go. This is maybe still a correction for the 1 hour chart, for it to come down somewhere and then meet one of the EMA lines and then, you know, proceed to the upside. Okay, you guys got it, yeah? AUD USD. That is it, Pratap, for you. AUD USD. I think you got the idea now, and that's basically it. So now let's go on to what was that again? Alpha CAD JPY. Yes, okay. So let's look at CAD JPY. How clear is the trend? Oh, before I forget to tell you as well, on the AUD USD on the 1 hour chart, for the upside, well, for the current trend, if it's what be going down, we have got it above the 25 anyway. So it is actually possible. If we go into the 4-hour, it's still to the upside, and the strength is really strong, above 25 on the daily as well. So yes, we have got opportunities of more upside move for AUD USD, but at the moment, we want to wait a little bit. This is the sell for correction if you want to take that trade. But on the daily and all that, we just see a lot of upward type movement, but then it's got resistance as I mentioned earlier on. So we're going to wait whether it resists and come down in correction, or if it does actually pierce through all these three lines, then it is actually above the 70-30 area that you can actually consider a buy. Okay, but for now, maybe a little bit too early for a buy. We are looking at potential of reversal on the left as well. We've got strong reversal going on the daily chart. Okay, so that's Australian dollar versus the dollar. Australian dollar versus dollar. Yes, correct. So CHF, no, it was not CHF JPY, it was CAD, I think, right? CAD JPY, yeah, for Alfred. Okay, so CAD JPY, let us just change that first. This is CHF. CHF JPY, since we are on, it has actually hit all the three boxes, as you can see. It took some time though. It was definitely based on 4-hour and daily chart. So yes, it took some time. I had some floats and all that, but then it ended up losing on the selling one, hit its stop loss here. But then on this one, and this one, it all worked out really well. Took profit for the sell on this one, took profit on the buy on that one, and then buy on that. And it still continued to proceed. So that was a very good trade for myself because that was done long time back, but it took its time, and then it gave me some tips based on the blue boxes where I traded in stages. So CAD JPY. There you go. Let's do the same thing as well because we have got lots more intraday trader, intraday inquiries asking how we can use certain ways of trading intraday. Okay, so daily chart. Okay, what do you guys think about CAD based on the daily chart? Look at standalone prices here. Standalone here, standalone here. We've got some standalone there. It has met the 200 exponential moving average. So the question is whether or not it has the potential to fall from that area. We've got one bearish candle right there, which basically this is based on the daily chart. So that from there to the closing area itself, it's already about 93 pips. So you've got the potential right there, CAD JPY, to the downside as well. We've got some resistant play right there. But again, if we were to do, give me a second, guys. Okay. So here, for example, you can always do your price pattern drawing as well from there all the way down here. That is not on the wick. You notice that when I do trend line, I don't do the wick. I prefer to do the body to the body. Now with that, on the downside, we've also got that all the way up. There we go. So this may give you a bit of an indication there, Alfred, CAD JPY. Looking at trend first though, okay? It's not a setup to enter now and all that, not yet, until we go into the 1-hour chart. So now here, for example, you got prices trading in between all three lines, very, very unpredictable, okay? But the thing is that it started from here, support, went up there, come back down. So the A, B, C, and then D to the upside, that gives us a bullish sort of movement to the upside as opposed to the downside for CAD JPY daily chart, not yet. So now if it is to the upside, plus A, B, C, D, upwards, okay? Is that we are looking at, we need to first look at single bullish candle. We have got it there all the way up. You may be surprised looking at it, not really significant, but if we compare pair, if we pull that all the way to that, that is already 111 pips right there based on a bullish candle. But then if we look to the right, at the price of 79.32, as it goes up and up and up, it'll meet the 79.50. So it's probably better and safer for us to buy at 79.60, which is 10 pips above 79.50. Okay, so this is for CADJPY. Now what we can do is, we've already got a bias to the upside. You need to break out from all the three lines, the exponential moving average lines, and also we need to now bring it to the 4 hour, 1 hour, and see what we get. So here, okay, you know, very unlikely to look at straight away prices going all the way down or all the way up is equivalently quite risky for CADJPY at this moment of time. But here itself, we have got a price pattern of a double top here, roughly, okay, which actually means more room to the downside, okay. Here as well, with a single mother candle, we do have something here, not entirely downwards, but then if you look at the, okay, we need to reflect a little bit on that one there. And because this one here, it's really unique. CADJPY still on the daily chart. Let's just go to the 1 hour first. And then the 4 hour. Okay, so it does look like room to the upside, but if we go into the the 1 hour chart, as it moves upwards, obviously it has got the resistance area right there. So there you go, one there. As you mark it, it goes straight away there. And that said, yes, we do have potential resistance to the 79.63 area. Perhaps anything could actually happen there, but what we can do is, for now, until that area, if you were to be buying, it would actually be about 31 pips or so for you to get that. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions at all? You guys are clear? Alfred, are you clear with the CADJPY so far? Yeah. Clear. Good. Pratap, thank you very much. For the rest of you guys, all good? All good. Good as well. Thank you. Okay, so there you go. You've got a style that you can do, and then we will use psychological number, looking to the left for support resistance as well. As we go on, we will find. Hi there, Mr. Chenko. How are you doing? All good? Okay, so there you go. So we have got this. This is your trade idea as well. Now, I want to also share with you what I've seen on the GBP JPY. On the GBP JPY, I see some indication of upward bullish momentum, GBP JPY, but after 134.50. That means as it crossed 134.50, then I will buy at 134.60. My take profit is 135.40. Okay, so there you go. We've also got last week, a week and a half ago, we have had two failed, what do you call that, patterns as well, very unpredictable. Euro GBP and the other one, I'm not 100% sure, but let me check that. So that was already closed in loss with that, but then again, it's out of about 5 pairs or so, and you've got one really losing. Of course, we've got another one, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure as well, but I've got it all recorded in the Excel sheet. So whatever pairs that I'm giving you now as a trade idea, you know, it all has its own style, my style of dealing with it. And for you, you can always use your trading style as well. Okay, so here we are looking at GBP JPY expected to, once it has risen to 134.60, that's your buy entry area, and then you'll take profit at 135.40. That's GBP JPY. All good questions, guys? Euro GBP is finally showing signs of bullishness. We've got our trades closed already on that one. It's time to focus on other pairs. Okay. This is GBP CAD. This is quite an interesting one on AUD, Euro AUD on a 4 hour. So once this price, let's say, for example, does actually go in, but didn't actually go into the price area right there. Okay, let's say it goes at this area right here, and it happened to turn around a little bit. That would actually be a very good selling opportunity. Remember, if it breaks out, goes back to the area where it broke out from, then it's got a better momentum to fall. Okay, so we'll wait for that. That's okay on the Euro AUD. Now USD CHF, as we see, it's just plunging down quite crazily. If we turn to the left, we can see that it may not have too much of a room because we have got that area at 0.9380. Again, it's a psychological level 80. So even if you are actually selling, your selling price would have been at 93.90, which is very close to now. So if you're looking into exiting, you can. If not, it's entirely up to your risk appetite as well. Okay. Okay, guys. Any questions at all? Any questions? All clear. Alfred, you guys, you're okay with your trade idea? Any other pairs that you want to look at? All good. Okay, perfect. So you have your plan right there. All right, guys. Pratap, you okay? Any other questions? The rest of you, Mr. Whitechinko, you okay? Any questions at all? Don't be shy. All good so far. Brilliant. Good. Yeah, that's basically it. Just to warm up for today. We've got more definitely trade ideas for tomorrow. Just want to experiment on something here. I see that you have got. I thought maybe a patterned Z pattern right there, but it doesn't really look like it. Also, as prices plunging downwards, we have got that area to watch out for, which is 93.80 exactly there. So that's what we talked about as well earlier on. So then 93.90 is where you should actually exit, especially now, just in case it bounces up a little bit too much too soon. Okay. Okay, guys, since it's all good so far, no questions, we can always end the session now and then continue tomorrow. But tomorrow will be our next topic. Let's see. You guys know that you can check on all the webinar topics in advance on the site itself on errante.com. Okay. Then you've got my section here, which is Education Center. Got market analysis, education videos, and then your webinars. So the webinars alone, here we've got all the topics in advance. So I will just keep pumping in more topics in advance so that we don't see it as blank right there. So for tomorrow, we are at 7th of July tomorrow, which is the basics of Fibonacci. So it was quite good that we look into the pattern, price pattern A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, because there are ways to actually pull your Fibonacci ratio tool, whether it's Fibonacci retracement or Fibonacci extension. I will just explain to you tomorrow. So tomorrow's topic is very much to do with Fibonacci. It's basic ratios, but most importantly, how do you actually apply Fibonacci? Where do you pull it from? High, low, for what, and when, and all that kind of things. Okay, so we'll start from scratch tomorrow on Fibonacci ratios and do a couple of things and just experiment, and then you can actually see it for yourself. Whether or not it's something you would like to adopt as a tool for what you are doing right now, or you could do anything with it. You want to actually plan exits. Some people plan exits and all that, but then it's probably best for us to use Fibonacci tool with price patterns, in my opinion. Okay. Yeah, brilliant. So tomorrow's topic, if you guys have got any more topics that you would like to cover, you know, in time to come and all that, we can always just gather all the topics and plan in advance for all the topics, and even topics that we've done, and then you want a second refresher. Let's say another 1, 2, 3 weeks time, 2 weeks time, you want another one for Fibonacci to build on it. But my microphone just hit my microphone. So yeah, you want to build on it, or you want to ask specific questions about it, because some traders, they may feel quite comfortable expanding one topic to make it their strategy much more than the other topic. It's, you know, it's reasonable to do that. Okay, so good. Let's do that. So tomorrow it will be a topic on Fibonacci. We'll start from scratch, and then what we'll do is we can always extend Fibonacci to a 3 series, 4 series later on as well. So this is Fibonacci part 1, the basics, ratios, explain to you ratios and all that. Then you can combine Fibonacci with various other things. Okay, guys, so I think that is all. And we'll meet each other again tomorrow, and let's take it from there. Mr. White Cheng, Mr. Cheng Ho, I hope everything is okay with you. If there's anything else you want to ask, just ask us directly, ask me directly. Okay, and welcome to my webinar, and it's good that it's your first time. Thank you very much. And maybe it's not your first time, Mr. Cheng Ho, right? I think you've been here before, but then it's just a new name. Okay, so take care, and we'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you very much to all. First time, so yes, it is your first time, right? Okay, good, very good. And yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Most welcome, everyone. And we'll see you again, Mr. Cheng Ho, tomorrow. And it's, you know, it's free webinar for a lot of topics, practical strategies and all that. And we can always discuss. And we can discuss things in more detail, okay? As we apply certain tools, you can actually ask as well. All right? Good. Okay. Most welcome. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.